Okay, well, Happy New Year to the people who celebrate New Year. I celebrate the fact that it's another day in hell over here. So it's 2025, and I guess I'm trying my hardest to consider it a new year, a new beginning, or whoop de whoop de woo. But real life, it's like chapter 13. It's 12 months last year, and every year, this is just month 13. But we're gonna clean slate. Anyway, I have had a terrible day. I've had a couple of meltdowns, a couple of really bad meltdowns. Feels regressive. Today I was like all this weekend, I was super hyped and I was like, on Monday I'm gonna get started because every day that I've tried to get started, like my body is so exhausted. It's like I don't know how I can stress enough that it feels like my body is recovering from some of the worst abuse it's ever endured. And I just want to point out some of the things that I have endured. I have fallen on a ski slope several dozen feet and literally through plastic fence. I have slipped and fell backwards on ice in an ice skating rink. And when my head, the back of my head, hit the ground, I thought there's no way a person could withstand that level of impact on their head. I felt like either my brain cracked or the ice cracked. I was still moving, nothing wrong, not even a concussion. And I do have a big head. This is not about that though. The whole point is that no matter how hard I try, there's going to be days where I have to cope with, like today, where my body is like, we're doing nothing today but trying to heal emotionally, mentally. And that requires over resting. It requires just a slowdown in production, brain fog. You can't remember things. It is just every day something different, moments that I try to find that are happiness and getting on a good run is only just negated by days like today. Also, it's very stressful that my husband is lying about like the money and cutting off of like the accounts as far as like only putting a certain amount of money in there. He lied in the last court hearing and said that I have access to 5 accounts. Like, I used to be a banker, which is frustrating because I've had to have all these micro jobs because of the fact that when he spends all of our money, he looks at me as a viable working person that's like sucking the family's resources or something. And then he's like, you gotta go get a job. So then I go get a job, and then he starts making a little bit more money. So then he tells me, I need to take care of you. You need to stay home because now you realize that you can't have somebody who working but also taking care of the house at the same time. Like, I know that's what he tried to do anyway. And no matter what, that was successful because that's what the hell I was doing anyway. I have my business, of course, but with my business, I have to be able to work. There are no mental health days. And also, the time that I spend getting ready for this court case takes away all of the normal day-to-day processes that are required for me to actually generate leads, to get sales, to get clients, therefore, to get some money. So I applied for food stamps last week, and I had like a intake appointment last Monday. Food stamps for real. Like, we live in like a Glendale, which is like a historic neighborhood, and I'm applying for food stamps because my husband, who's in Brazil right now, like, we have like $120 in the account for food the rest of the week, and he's in Brazil. It's a snowstorm right now, and he's calling them, showing them video and pictures of his dog, his uncle's dog in Brazil. And I know he's going to lie and say, oh, GE is paying for him to do all that when we go to court. Well, you know what? If GE is paying for you to go to Brazil, why don't you tell GE you don't have enough money to support your household? Because that's the reality that we're experiencing. Like, are you kidding me? This boy done went to Florida a couple of times. I mean, can you say run from your problems already? Oh my God. Like, I think that it's just so frustrating. The reality of a person that can be so callous and a person who doesn't have any regard or regret for doing to a person exactly what that person asked him not to do of them. Like, verbatim, to the T, plus a little spin. He added a couple of little extra things. And right now, I love my kids. They're not a burden to me. But next time we go to court next month, he's going to want shared custody. That's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm trying to figure out how we're going to share custody when you can't even keep still enough to be around your kids. So you saw him for Thanksgiving, you saw him from Christmas, and then that's it. So you're thinking most of October, November, December, and 90 days, let's say 80 days, you saw them twice by your own will because I allowed them to see him. They drive. They can go meet him and see him at any time. So the reality of him trying to say that we parent together is insane. I have parented. My oldest is 19. My second is about to be 18 on Sunday. And then my youngest is 14. Every birthday party, every trip, every enrollment, every activity, every. Not a single thing comes from this man. Nothing, right? Except the credit that he absorbs from the work that I do, including managing every one of the times that he messes up our account and figuring out how to fill the gap, the financial gap, right? Because all the money is his. All the money is his. So even if he tells me to go to work, he still gets control of the money that I get. And peep this, he gets to give it to his mom, his dad, he loans money out. Listen, so he's about to have a lawyer, which I don't have a lawyer. I'm not gonna, I don't have a choice. Like, I don't know what happens when, I don't know what people think happens when you have agreed to literally give up your autonomy, albeit it took over 19 years for me to like uplift and give up my autonomy. But imagine, right? Someone makes it their absolute priority to deceive you enough to relinquish all of your accounts, this or that, and before you know it, they've harassed you or made it so difficult and gaslighted you enough to believe the narrative that they are only looking out for the best and that we can't go forward because I'm so damaged from my childhood and my upbringing that I won't allow him to take care of me, and that's what's affecting everything. Not to mention the fact that he keeps talking to my mother over the phone that I am estranged from. Like, this woman is a terrible mother. That's another whole channel. She's a terrible mother. She has done nothing good for me ever in my life. She takes credit for doing stuff for me, but I don't know how because I've been on my own since I was born. I promise. I've been left to self-soothe, which is why people can understand why I can just kind of go underground for a while. And that's why I decided to record these videos, because I have to say something to someone. So, I have to get these words out because a lot of times you don't know your situation in its totality until you're saying the words out loud and listening to it. And that's how I ended up getting this divorce for the finality of it, because the words that I started saying was crazy. Oh, well, you know what? If I can just get through 4 more years of this and just sit down and just suffer for it and just reduce myself and just not just say anything. Like, what if I can just, like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? And saying these things to people out loud, which is why I think that toxic people, manipulators, and, abusers, that's what they are, that's why they don't want you to have a connection. And so I was looking through some pictures and I saw some pictures from like when we first met. And, I'm a photographer, but before I started that in 2013, but these are some pictures from like 2005, 6, 7, because even then, like I love photography and, photojournalistic and, journaling my life. So I would have like parties and friends that came over, and I was like, oh my God, like that used to be my life. And now it's just in a coldness, dark, like I'm trying not to come home. I won't come out of my room. It's a dark, like cloud or possession or something that's holding me to where I can't grow or move. It's somebody who has shrunk you so much that you don't know how you got in this small box. And I've been claustrophobic all of my life, so please don't put me under a box, especially when you're doing under your little size 10 shoe. Like, that's not big enough to step on me. I'm a big girl. I'm a healthy girl with these hands. I need a big man to lift me up or roll with me. not a little bitty man who wants to use passive aggressiveness, stonewalling, lies, smear campaigns, all to just get me to somehow be submissive to him. He's a freaking monster. And the fact that he doesn't care if we eat, listen, I'm trying to pray, and I feel just this reason why I want to do the video, because I just want to point out how I don't feel like God hears me. I don't know if God is here. I hope not hearing anything. I don't know. I'm just very discouraged today, and I'm just very frustrated because it's not just me. It's like 3 kids. If it was just me, yeah, you would still owe me. But I wouldn't panic as much as I am panicking now, considering that I have less than $200 in my account for I don't know how long, because like a baby bird, he feeds his account. And then he tells the judge that I have access to this other account that he has. So we have less than $100 to put things in perspective right now, today. He is in Brazil. Prior to that, he was in Florida. You know, prior to that, he was in Kansas for work, but he's saying that his job is flying him to Florida and also to Brazil. Mind you, he just started traveling for this job, but he's making it seem like to the courts that he travels all the time and that I'm so jealous about him being gone. Meanwhile, the whole house is happy when he's gone. We're calm. We don't care. Boy, bye, literally. But when you come home, you are an actual monster. The reality of this is funny. This is another thing. This is what I'm talking about out loud is good, but because he's telling the courts that that he travels all the time, right? And he's never home. Well, if he was not home, I would ride it out. I would ride it out and not worry about the divorce till Noah left. Are you kidding me? Till my last child left. So that's just in itself. Like, it's insane. Like, and I can't stand a liar. Like, my heart races and something happens to where a hand comes out of my literal throat. It's like this, and then it'd be like, and then I'll be like, eat, and then, like, I gotta calm down. I have got to calm down. But somebody lying, like the last time he lied, he's like, oh, I never choke you. He was like, I mean, it's either like, I say you choked me until I almost blacked out. You say you didn't. Those are like black and white eyes. It's like one truth, one lie. There's no gray. So for somebody to do these things to you, and to just flat out lie. Just, you know, he lies so well. Like, and I'm like, I'm not a liar. So, like, I can't, like, I don't, the truth is better than a lie. It's worse. What would I lie about? Because how would I lie? This is the most terrible crap. So, it's just like somebody just stand there. No, I'm not. So, no, I'm not. He didn't do anything for these kids. Like, I have to force him to file his taxes. I have to force him to fill out the FAFSA so these kids can go to college while he walks around bragging that he got kids in college. Like, you taking good because I took them to all the tours that they had to go. I did the application with them. I did all the other things to get them into the school. And all you had to do was take your little bitty tax return and fill out the FAFSA. But oh yeah, you didn't file your taxes again? Oh, I bet. Again. Who can't file their taxes on time? Like, every year. Like, don't you want to prove somebody wrong the right way without lying, gaslighting them, getting upset with them, doing all kind of stuff, blaming them for stuff, talking about them so that everybody they get discredited? Like, listen, I just think that I've been manipulated not just by him, just by, like, even the church that I went to, the last church that I went to, where it was just hell-bent on silencing the truth. Like, basically, I just remember, like, when they talked about everybody doesn't need to know everything. Like, you people who tell it like it is. Well, God says season your words, but he said, like, speak truth and correction. So people are not supposed to just be out here doing anything willy-nilly, and another Christian is not supposed to tell them, like, hey, let me holler at you. That's the job of another Christian, covering another Christian. But no. They want to silence you. So anybody that want to silence your voice and strip you from autonomy is because they can't control you unless they have everything. So, like, say right now, He's making sure that I have no money so that I have to reach out to him. I have a protective order. I never want to speak to you again. The protective order is just until August. But if I never speak to you again, God willing, that will be a blessing. Go to your devil family, please. Like, if I saw his dad, I might punch him dead smack in the face. I cannot stand that evil, demonic man. He over there carrying the curse. He's the one. And you know what? It's funny. It dawned on me. And one of the reasons I say faux Ferrari, because like I said, I don't think that's their real last name. I promise. Like, listen to me. Like, his dad's story is that he moved. Like, so his dad's from Haiti. His mom's from Haiti. And, okay. Okay, so the dad supposedly is a product of his mom having sex with this Italian man whose last name is Ferrari. So essentially, he's also a bastard because this man never claimed him and never signed his birth certificate. We don't know who this man is. And so how do you know that your last name is Ferrari? Like, just say, like, I'm just saying, like, when you go to have a baby, they be like, where's the daddy, bro? Like, so we can't just say, because you said the daddy is Ferrari. We need to, Mr. Ferrari, come here and sign something. So if you're a bastard and it doesn't say your daddy, because we can't look further than that, then I have to wonder where their last name come from. It's Italian last name. It can't just switch over to Haiti. There's no, like, there's like some, like, British kind of ties, and I think over there with Haiti and something like that. But it's not really like for the other way around. Like, for Italian, Italy don't have really nothing to do with Haiti. So other than this little story, all I can think of is the fact that he made it up. Because when you come to America, you can change your name to whatever you want. Like, so when I used to market small business right out of college, I would go through like the Vietnamese area in New Orleans, and all of them have like very similar names. Like, they might name themselves Tom, and then like the Nguyen, Nguyen, and since nobody knows how to say it right, some people just change it to WEN. Like, you can change it to whatever you want when you are moving here, right? His dad is a grandiose, class A, entitled, prideful person. We're doing we're not going to use the narcissism word. We're not using narcissism no more, because then they get caught in rhetoric, right? Everybody, when you watch TikTok, everybody's a narc. No, I was just saying you had like a personality disorder. That, like, PD, like, been out here. Personality disorders been out here. So just because they broke some of the personality disorders, just like they broke behavioral disorders down. Like, they used to just say BD if you got something going on that's not like everybody else. If you move it too fast or too slow than everyone else, they just shoved you in the behavioral disorder class and like, boom. It doesn't matter what your scale is. If you see some letters mixed up, but somebody can just fix it really quick over here. Nah, we don't know why you see it. Letters mixed up. You talking about you see this in the front, we're going to put you in BD. But then there was like, oh, wait, hold up. They just dyslexic. We can't just put them over here. Let's put them over here. Oh, like all you need is some medicine over here because now you have ADHD. Oh, and you're autistic. So now that we can identify specifically what in those categories make subcategories of different disabilities, then we cannot solve the issues and be able to help those people. And so narcissism is broken up into a bunch of different categories in the same way. And if, when you look up the word, your person is every single one of the defined points, bullet points, bro, like, a spade is a spade. Like, if, let's say I broke out some spades. Spade. It's a spade. We can't make it a clubs. If we're playing spades, I dare you try to make your spade a club. Like, get your club a spade. Like, what? It's not the same. One's better than the other. So it's frustrating when we get to minimize actual things that matter while maximizing and calling somebody extra for pointing those things out. But the other person who coasts across life and everything changes. What's permissible changes. It's fluid. What's permissible is fluid with that person. Okay? That person decides today it's right, tomorrow it's wrong, and you just get to go along for the ride. And what do you get in return? Get this. What you get in return? You get to live here. You live here? What? Listen, I was living here with them, In like February or March, somebody knocked on the door. These people knocked on the door with foreclosure paperwork. What? And told me don't worry about it when he came home. Like, it's up in the air if he's here, whether I'm gonna live here. If we together, it's up in the air whether or not we're gonna live here, because he's always on this little secret mission. When I call him cheating, it was hell and high water to get this boy to admit it. So I'm not interested at all in trying to catch you. My body understands what you did the first time, the way you moved, the situation, whatever. And since you blew up our entire life doing it, it's familiar. So when I see you move in a familiar way, doing the exact same thing that you did the last time and the time before that when he slept with our little babysitter, then I'm not going to worry about it. What's wrong with you? You think I'm going to go through looking over again? It's so funny because he's trying to like get his lawyer to say I'm jealous. And it's so hard for her to prove it, because even though he cheated on me and did all these things, like I don't ever check his location. Like he about to lose his mind because I won't let him have my location. I'm like, dude, I don't care where you go, what you do. Mind your business. Do what you're supposed to do, because God's going to tell me when you switch up again. He's going to tell me. And when he tells me, I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore, because right is right and wrong is wrong. Like, this boy wants to tell me that he got molested by this chick, right? Now I'll show you the picture of the chick. So he got molested by his cousin, this girl right here, okay? The same girl we hugging at our wedding, okay? Never said anything about it. He told the babysitter that was living in our house while I was working all night till 10, that about his little abuse situation, because she's been abused, he's been abused, they share the abuse. Now, we had been married almost like 8 years. He had never told me this. She told me this because we were about to move, and I said, you can't live with us. So, of course, she told me everything. And so, she told him, So, I didn't say anything about it. Why? You see that? Because I know I know this girl is telling the truth. You have never told me that you slept with her, and you never told me that about telling this little secret of yours. You never told me about this little magical moment. Now, I've been intimate with you and been with you for 8 years, and you never felt vulnerable enough to tell me about your little situation. But you told the babysitter, but you didn't sleep with her. So I'm supposed to believe half her truth, but you didn't tell me none of this. It'll make you go crazy, okay? When I tell you that just my mental clarity improving is such a viable reason to not be in that relationship anymore, because what I just told you is enough to make your brain go like this. And then at the same time, your brain get bruised. At some point, your brain get bruised on these sides, and you're just like, forget it. Just do what you want to do. Just leave me alone. And then go to tell him I'm crazy, because that's what he was working on, to say I'm emotionally insane. I'm emotionally insane staying with you. That's about the craziest thing I've ever done in my whole life, is stay with you. That's the most emotionally insane. It's crazy because he says that I'm emotionally unstable, yet in the little 2.5 months that he's not been available to do anything, I done went and picked the kid up for Thanksgiving break, cooked Thanksgiving food, cooked Christmas food, then picked the kid up, dropped her off, took a junior to 2 college visits, scheduled 3. I took 1 to all his wrestling stuff, and I've been doing everything just fine all by myself. So how can a person be able to fulfill their client orders, be able to get their kids Christmas gifts, be able to wrap it all and give their kids a Christmas experience, be able to drive 2 hours to pick one up, come bring back, drive them back, drop them off, and then come back, bring one to a college visit at Denison, then go to Cleveland, bring her another one at Westland, and Case Westland. Then we have one at Xavier. So who's crazy? Because I did the same thing last year or the year before that with the other one. What are you doing? What you provide besides going to work? And you still gotta go to work. It's just unfair and frustrating. I think it's hard for me to hear from God because I'm frustrated with God, because I can't understand how, I would say for 4 years before I met this man, on a scale of manipulation this is the person that I met. This is what he looked like. This is who I met. And I was like, oh, he just don't know no better. Oh, bless his heart. Look at him. Got glasses, 17 layers. And I thought he was just talking big. But the reality is now the truth. The truth. Everybody want to know the truth. The truth is, it doesn't matter that he's a nerd and he really ain't got the game that he thinks he has. The problem is he thinks that he does. So his behavior is just as toxic, manipulative, and everything else to the people who love him. It's only better what he thinks. He's an IT geek, but he sees himself as much more. And get this, he's the first person that I ever dated that wasn't an athlete. And he's in IT. Like, this was like, maybe I was like, well, maybe opposite attract. I'm not saying I didn't love him, but I'm saying that I didn't love him because he lied about who he was. So the person that I fell in love with doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And I would rather get played by ballers, not played by IT freaks. So it's frustrating. And the fact that you're abusive mentally, physically, and everything else is just, it just blows my mind. The fact that my mother is a sellout and she literally is talking to him and about me, I'm so terrible, so she's on his side. It's amazing. Like, my mother is absolutely terrible. Like, let me tell you, I can't explain to you if somebody did what he did to me, to my daughters. I wouldn't call no man. I wouldn't call him. The problem is right here. Listen, I promise. Touch my child. Touch my child. Touch my child. Touch my child. I just don't understand how this woman don't have a motherly instinct in her bones, but lying to everybody like, oh, my baby. So when I was like 4, you know, which is when I detached from her emotionally, we were sitting by the pool. She can't swim. Her friend can't swim. But we were sitting by like 4 foot of water. And my sister pushed me in. And I was thinking, like, I remember being under the water. And I just, whatever reason, I didn't panic, right? Probably because my nervous system was like shocked already. Anyway, I just waited. And I was thinking, surely I'm going to feel an arm or something come pull me up. Or, you know, my mom's going to come and pull me up. And at 4, I remember she couldn't swim, you know. And no, she never came and got me. Eventually, I floated up. And I just remember my head getting to the top and me kind of being able to lift my head and breathe. And then my mom grabbed my hand and pulled me out. And I was like, don't trust this lady ever again. Are you kidding me? And then I think it was like a year later, we went to like this big public like pool and they had diving board going to like 12 feet of water. And I was thinking like, I have to teach myself how to swim because I'm going to drown at the least in this family, right? And this is like, I'm not lying. I was like 6. I'm not lying. So I was like practicing in like the little water, like the 3 feet of water, practicing, but you don't really know if you can swim because, you know, the ground is right there. So then I said, you know, I'm going to go jump off the diving board into the 12 feet. And I just remember going up there and just looking at this lifeguard. So I went to the one that was closest to the lifeguard because it probably wasn't going to work out. So whenever I looked at her and I looked at the water, looked at the water, and I jumped off and I remember coming up and swimming to the side. And that's how I learned how to swim. And I thought it necessary to learn how to swim because for some reason in my family, the option to get pushed in water and almost die is an option. And my sister tried to kill me in way more ways than that because, you know, the funny thing that my mom thinks is that, oh, she hated you because you were born. Well, she still does. And she's tried to kill me in so many ways. Like, I am estranged from my whole entire family because literally I'm the black sheep. I'm the one that's supposed to fix everything, do everything. I'm supposed to take all of the abuse. I'm supposed to whatever. And I'm not supposed to do any of that. I don't like y'all. Like, bye. Don't talk to me no more. I changed my phone number and everything. And so it's just been very frustrating. And unfair. Like, right? I had a lot of things that I could have been in life. But what do you do when you choose to get married? And in that marriage, the best way that we agreed with our kids is to stay home, raise our kids until they went to school. And then I talked about everything that I'm currently doing now. And what he did was say, oh yeah, you're definitely going to do that. Like, he encouraged me all that time and told me to hang in there, to keep doing the sacrifices every day. I don't have any parent support. I don't know how to be a mother from my mother. I am putting my all into something, my all into being a wife that I've never witnessed my mom be, and to be a mother that I never saw my mother be, but I know that I need it. So I'm busting my butt to be overly accountable as I was taught to always be. What portion do you have in it? So now I'm hyper accountable, which keeps me in this toxic situation because this person is gaslighting me constantly. And so it's hard because I don't have anybody else. And people think that Everybody has someone. Like, literally, I had to talk to my oldest daughter about the fact that I want to be cremated because now that's the only person that I can count on for my final burial rites. Like, what? Why should I have to do that? And then go fight for you to pretend like you're going to co-parent with me when you know you're not. You're not. Right now, we co-parent and you're never here. Never doing anything. My daughter's car isn't working. It's over at the dealership. It costs $2,000 to get it fixed. He's talking about, no, he's not going to get it fixed. Where are you going to find a car for $2,000? So you're renting a car. He's renting a car right now. So instead of like just paying for the other car to get fixed to drive the other car, he's going to keep paying for a rental car. It's just so stupid. He just accumulates expenses and does whatever he wants while we're sitting here in a snowstorm and it's got $100-some-odd when my daughter's birthday is like on Thursday and then she wants to party on Saturday. So I'm going to click my heels like Dorothy, I guess, and just figure out where money's supposed to come through because I'm the person who has to look at the disappointment of the situation. I can't believe that I put myself in this situation. Today is trash. And yes, this season is trash. I have more days where I am more optimistic. But today, fuck everybody. Like, I'm so over it. Like, I'm sick of it. And, I'm not hating stepping into my truth because the truth is coming. This 2025, this is like a Cat Williams situation. Like, don't come for me. Like, everybody be on your best behavior. So I've had some people at church, for example, overstep and then get upset with me because I corrected them. Like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to listen to your voicemail. I don't want to listen to your words. I'm not going to read your text. I'm not going to answer your phone call because when you step into my little 3 feet of space I'm trying to claim out here, it's a fucking 3 feet radius. It's not even trying to be a lot. And you keep asking me, where's your husband? Or stupid stuff, okay? Because you're just trying to be messy and then trying to cover it up like it's something else. Like, listen, I was born at night last night. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I can't do it. So I don't want to hear people's excuse. You forgiven already, boo. Everybody's forgiven the first time they correct it. Everyone. Because you didn't know no better. After that, get smacked. Get told, get bit. I don't care. Do better. Know better. Know people before you say, oh, I was just joking. Well, it's a terrible joke because look at my face. So far away from laughing. Why ain't laughing? You're not even laughing. I'm not going to be gaslighted by telling when people say it was just a joke no more. I might, because if that's a joke, then I'm going to play the dozens and we're going to do jokes because I love jokes and all my life I've been told not to be a jokester. But if we're going to start joking at my expense, then let me flip and watch me nay-nay. Like, what? I do this all day. I do this for fun. But no, that's not going to be the case. You're going to tell me I took it too far or I overread the situation or I underread the situation. No. I don't have no IOUs. Don't call me about, oh, nobody, nothing, I promise. Because you have to show me, tell me. I'm going to show you the receipts. I do everything by myself. By myself. If you want to talk to me, to know about me, you walk up to me. You ask me. Don't go talk to my kids, asking my kids where their daddy is, why they haven't seen their daddy. Girl, listen, this is dangerous waters. I'm a shark right now. Like, I'm not even here for that. You are my baby shark. Listen, like a little cupcake, I'll eat you. And so, warnings had to be shots had to be fired. And I don't hold nothing against those people. They obviously didn't know better. Why would you put yourself through that? And I'm built different. Like, whatever you thought you met before, different. I don't hold grudges, right? I'm not mad at the people that offend me, right? I just kind of let them know, like, if you're going to be in this little 3 feet of space, or if you want to come up to me, talking to me, if you're going to be looking on my Instagram, my Facebook, whatever, doing everything but looking at my business and booking me, then you got to be careful. You got to be real mature. I'm 45, but I'm like 70 in my soul because of all the stuff I had to deal with. So please respect people's potential. I don't know her. She looks like she's not into stupid jokes. She looks like she's not easy to manipulate. She looks like she's not really that playful. She doesn't look cuddly. It doesn't cuddle. Today is a rough day. I have $100 in my account. My husband is in Brazil, just having a nice time. for no reason other than that he has to run from the situation, and he is a terrible person, and that now he's been exposed, and now that he can't sit still with himself to sit long enough to listen to the demons that are inside of his head that he used to regurgitate out of his mouth to me when he felt like it. He can't even sit down to do that. He doesn't even owe me that much. At least sit with your demons so that you can hear. So you can hear. Go get the deliverance that you keep saying that you need. Like, I can't believe that 20 years of my life and right out of college, like, nothing is even applicable for me to do anymore, especially since I need something to do tomorrow. Yes, I have a business, but I need money tomorrow. Whatever the court system is, we're supposed to be getting whatever style support, whatever is mandated, which will be great when it happens. That ain't coming right now. Like, I gotta wait till February 13th just to do the mediation for parenting and ask for the child support and possibly spousal support, since that's not on the agenda. But he's gonna be prepared with his lawyer. I don't know who God's gonna send to take with me, because I need somebody there with like a knife to stab me in my freaking thigh at the time when I'm about to lose it, because his lawyer is super, super obnoxious, Indian lady, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to say nothing prejudiced right now. Nevertheless, your Indian wife, mother, child, whatever, I don't even know. Anyway, she's provocative, and he's told her my triggers. And they're still my triggers because I have a trauma bond to a crazy psycho, literally Lucifer's son. I'm trauma bonded to Judas' nephew. You hear what I'm saying? It's like I think it's like Lucifer begat Judas. Or no, like Judas is like Lucifer's brother, let's say. Because definitely George is Lucifer's son. So we got to work it in that way. So they can only be nephew and whatever. I have to be in the room with him on the February 13th. And the next day is February 14th, which is our anniversary. I hate Valentine's Day. I swear to God. I swear to God. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to burn. I don't know. But I'm sure after the 13th, when I see him in person, which he's going to bring a lawyer for parent mediation, even though the paper says there is no lawyer required for the mediation, right? Because his little voice, he can't talk to his little voice. What will he say except stupid things? So he's definitely going to have a lawyer. The boy got nothing but stupid things to say. Listen, stupid things to say. At the domestic violence, like protective order thing, he brought a lawyer. Why do you have to bring a lawyer to defend yourself against somebody telling you that they can't be around you? They don't feel safe around you. After you've almost killed him before and then said you didn't. Put him in a mental hospital, because he also did that, you know. I'm here standing in the gap for every orphan like me, because I'm an orphan. Like, I grew up with parents who wasn't really parents. So, and siblings that were all god-awful trifling. And so, yes, I have a mustard seed of faith and a lot of doubt. And I'm trying to work on that. But in real life, this life has sucked so far. I have only let the devil bring me into a toxic situation after I was born into a toxic situation. And in between the little 6 years from my house to his house, and that little 6 years of time, that's the only time that I was myself and had the proper autonomy to put people at a spoon's distance, like, go by, like, I don't need to be around you guys. And just those people being away is the healthier version of you comes. So it's super hard to say. Like, my body even has calmed down so much that, like, I would have these heavy periods, like 10 days out of the month. Since he's been gone, I have not had my period. All in November, all in December. For 10 days. It was such a problem that I was getting medication for it. And since he's been out of this house, I have not had it. And I don't care what people say. It's really hard to negate the fact that my entire soul is getting better. My hair is growing. Like, everything is so much better. Except the fact that what am I supposed to do right now in the meantime while I wait for all this court stuff? And even if the court stuff doesn't work out, I have to go into this thinking I at least got to carry me and my 14-year-old. I have 2 that's going to be in college. Why should they keep having to live less? Why can't they have a steady home to keep coming to year after year? We've moved them from Louisiana to Ohio, to one school district, to another. Now we had another. Like, why can't they get peace? And all I've asked this boy was stability. Peace and stability is what I asked for in this marriage. Do anything else. Peace and stability. I don't want to walk in like my dad with the lights being cut off and you gambling up our money, drinking everything away. Like, peace and stability, and those things he could not give me. That is no money. I shop at Goodwill. I don't really need stuff. I got over the fact that stuff wasn't available to me a long time ago. So peace and stability, no. And then my kids can't have peace and stability. And I got to figure out a way to start all over to build it when I'm 20 years behind, because I believed in a lie for a man who only intended to enslave me and to put me into servitude for the rest of my life while he cheats and goes with like literal hoes. And the worst part about it is, like, you lightweight over here with me because of the respect factor. Meanwhile, I'm tolerating you because you won't put it down, but you're putting it down over here all out in the streets, and you won't even put it down over here. Like, I don't want him back ever. The process is, this is the least that I'm ever going to be. And so I want to document it, because this has to be the least. In Jesus' name. He said he will provide all my needs and above all my needs, and according to his riches in Christ Jesus. And he also said that I know the plans that he has for me to prosper me. And so I know that there's an answer. But today, I'm upset.